Best shooter from every decade in NBA history. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. The NBA is a professional basketball league in North America. The league is composed of 30 teams, and is one of the 4 major professional sports leagues in the US and Canada. It is the premier men's professional basketball league in the world. The NBA was created in New York in 1947, but at that time, the league was in initial stages, with teams moving in and out of the league frequently. The association found its stability in the late 1950s. So we will look at the best shooters from every decade from 1960s onwards. Each NBA player and fan thinks that their generation of basketball was the best, with better competition, better players who were faster, stronger than their predecessors, but is it really so? Basketball players' own unique style and versatility separate them from others. So let's get started. 1960s. 1960s boasted of stars that we will rave about today, like Jerry the Logo West, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Bob Cousy, Oscar Robertson, and Bill Russell. The game was played slow and methodically. These Hall of Famers were the first stars of the game, and they were great ones, but by far the best player in this era was Wilt Chamberlain. Chamberlain's raw energy and vigor is something that no player has been able to match in today's day also. The huge 7'1" Chamberlain could bench 500 pounds and leap 48 inches. Apart from this, he was an awesome basketball player. He holds the record for most points in a single game with 100. He also won 2 championships and averaged 50 points for a whole season, alongside with holding a career rebounding record with 23,924. 1970s. The 70s set the wheels in motion for a more modern NBA. The league's talent was increased, as did the players' skills. At this time, many great players were on the hardwood, such as Julius Erving, George Gervin, and Rick Barry. But the definitive best player was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem and others showed how single players can dominate games and win them for their team, similar to how stars in later generations would do. As a Buck and a Laker, Abdul-Jabbar had a distinct style of playing. He would send a shot back and then run back and sink his signature sky hook right over the opponent's head. His hook allowed him to score on anyone, and that explains why he has the most points in NBA history, with 38,387. He's third all-time in rebounding and blocks and won 6 championships and 2 Finals MVPs in his 20 seasons. 1980s. The 1980s NBA is a time in the league that is highly regarded in the minds of players and fans. It had awesome star players, great teams, outstanding rivalries, and the game had incredible offensive skills to go along with tough defense. The 1980s era was full of star power with greats like Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and Dominique Wilkins. But we can say that Magic Johnson was the best in this decade. And why? To begin with, he stood tall at 6'9". He could defend, facilitate, and finish at an elite level. Johnson won 3 MVPs, 3 Finals MVPs, 5 championships, and a ton of other achievements. He mainly played point guard, but with his length and height, he could play any position on the floor, and that's why he was the best player of the 1980s. 1990s. The NBA in the 1990s can be described in 2 words. Actually, 2 letters. MJ. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls rallied off not 1, but 2 three-peats in the decade. Jordan was a pure scorer. He could get to the rim with his amazing athleticism, but he could also swish a mid-range jumper in your eyes. In his time, Jordan won 6 championships, 6 Finals MVPs, 5 MVPs, 1 Defensive Player of the Year award, and the list of achievements goes on and on. 2000s. The 2000s can be easily labeled as the best time in basketball, as many of the great players graced the court with their sheer power, vigor, and athletics, such as Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, and Shaquille O'Neal. There were many great players in the 2000s, but the trophy for the best player goes to Laker great Kobe Bryant. His game could be compared with the legendary Michael Jordan. The mid-range, the flashy dunks, the mentality, and even the movement were almost similar to Jordan's. During Kobe's era, he won 1 MVP, 2 Finals MVPs, 5 championships, and made 12 all-defensive teams. Unfortunately, his untimely death in a helicopter crash brought an end to his era. 2010s. The 2010s brought many new faces with their own playstyles to the NBA and dominated, such as Steph Curry, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, and many more. Even though there were so many great players that played, one stands out, LeBron James. He has the talent, strength, and basketball IQ to play in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, along with his skill, touch, and finesse to a player in any more recent decade. As a member of the Heat, Cavaliers, and Lakers, James is called a facilitator, but he's also third all-time on the scoring list, and at 36 years old, he's still playing at an elite level. He has 4 championships, 4 finals MVPs, 4 MVPs, Rookie of the Year, and the list goes on. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any amazing video from us.